So I've been involved in a variety of different aspects within the ministry. When I first started, I was just a part of the worship team. So I've been a part of the worship team basically my entire time with Chi Alpha, from playing the bass to now I'm playing acoustic and leading and just being a part of that thing. I've been a community group leader. I've helped develop different programs within the ministry as well. Just anything that I can do just to be a part. I love the ministry, I love serving, so at any facet. Right now I'm in graduate school. I just completed my first semester of graduate school, so things are a little bit different. But one thing that has kind of become my role is I'm kind of the staff over our live production team, which we're extremely fortunate to have. So that consists of our worship team, our creative media team, which does like our media and stuff like that, as well as our production team, which helps like the load in, the load out, working the computers for service and the lights and different things like that. So the heartbeat of our ministry and of Chi Alpha's community. I love college ministry because here you are, you have thousands of incoming students every year, and their one goal, and literally they come in and they say, make us something, right? That's why fraternity sorority lives are so effective, is because they just go up to them and say, hey, I want to be like you. So what an incredible opportunity we have to say, hey, come be a part of what's going on in Chi Alpha, come be a part of what's going on, and we want you to be like Christ. And that is such a cool thing. And so our thing is, we want to be the best community on campus, whether it's a fraternity, sorority, whether it's another campus ministry, whether it's a club or even a sports team. We want to have the best community that when people see us, they go like, wow, those people love each other and love hanging out. And so that's our mission, and that's the heartbeat of our ministry, is getting students to say, at the end of the day, like, you know, college wasn't about the test that I took. College wasn't about the clubs I was in, but Chi Alpha was about my college experience was about the ministry, was about Chi Alpha, was about the community that I had there. I think the community is the foundation of everything. So once you build that relationship, and we know in the Bible that Jesus was all about relationships, and so that's what we want to model. And so our big thing is, out of our community, out of that foundation, are our community groups. And from there, when we have like intentional discipleship, and we have student leaders who are pouring into the next generation of student leaders, and really identifying people who we think can lead and be a part of that and help them grow in that process, is literally one of the best things that we can do. And when it comes to evangelizing, like I said before, like, we want to be a community that everyone on campus knows who we are. And so what's the best way to do that? That's just to get involved. And so we have been a part of the homecoming process. We've been a part of different events that go on campus, and we just want people to know that, hey, like, we're around. Like, we're not just another ministry who's kind of just like hiding in the corner, like doing our own thing. But just as Jesus interacted with everyone around him, we want to do the same thing. And so that's how we evangelize, through the love that we show other people and that we display ourselves on campus. We are extremely intentional. Our big thing that we have is we're looking for students who are fat, faithful, available, and teachable. And when we have those three kind of big qualities in mind, we really feel like we can make disciples. And that was a really big shift for us these past couple years, is really putting a big emphasis on, you know, and when it talks about the Great Commission, Jesus specifically said, go and make disciples. He didn't say go find disciples, or go kind of like, oh, you know, kind of see what you got here and then bring them in and kind of recruit them in and then become leaders. He said, go make disciples. And so that's what we want to do. And we understand that, you know, college ministry and college overall is a time when there's a lot of confusion and students are trying to figure out who they are. And so we have a personal mandate from God to say, hey, let's invest in these students' lives. Let's be a part of that. So our community groups are critical, as well as what we consider what we call our discipleship groups. And that's like 4 or 5 student leaders also within their own group. And like, for instance, like, I have my own discipleship group of guys, like 5 or 6 guys, student leaders. And my job is to pour into them so they can pour into their community groups. So at every single level, I'm being poured into, I'm pouring into the leaders, and the leaders are pouring into the next generation of leaders and students within Chi Alpha. I think the very first thing is prayer. I mean, prayer moves mountains, and I know sometimes that's such an abstract thing to say, and it's easy to say that, but genuinely, incredible things have happened because of prayer. And so that's the very first thing that we need. Obviously, this is a nonprofit organization, so finances are important, whether that is finding a Chi Alpha missionary and supporting them, or finding a Chi Alpha nearby and being a part of what's going on there. A big thing that we have just been absolutely blessed by is the amount of support from the local area churches, because we don't have our own facilities. So every Monday night, we're setting up for our main service, we're setting up and tearing down. We don't have a facility. If we wanted a Thanksgiving dinner, we don't have the facility to do that. But luckily, we had a church and their young adult ministry actually cooked us a dinner. They provided the gym for us, and all we had to do was come and eat. And, you know, we'll have like different random worship sessions throughout the semester, and a church will open up their sanctuary for us. Or our parent night, a church will open up a sanctuary for us. Like, those are the kind of things that people don't think or realize that we need, but if we want to be as effective and want to do the programs and things that we have, especially a ministry our size, we have to have that support. And so if you're like a church member, or you know someone who loves to bake cookies or make food or whatever you can do, just saying, hey, like, what can I do to be a part, is so greatly appreciated. I think ultimately it's because I just love people, and I realize that the things that God has given me, and the things that He has placed in my life, the people He's placed in my life, the mentors who have challenged me and grown me, those are the people that have ultimately changed my life forever. And so it's the least thing I can do to return that, invest in other people. And at the end of the day, I've just seen God do some incredible things in people's lives, and people who honestly wouldn't even be alive, God has transformed. And so what better way to invest in people? What better way to connect with people? What better way to literally build future families than to be a part of what's going on in Chi Alpha? Community is huge. But I really think at the heart of it, the reason I love Chi Alpha so much is because of that family, because of that community feel. These people are the people that I'm going to spend like my life with. You know, when I get married and I have kids, like, these are the people that I'm going to go on like family vacations with, that they're going to be my weddings. Like, those are the kind of people that really make the walk with Christ, discipleship, and doing life together. That's what makes this faith ours. And so that's just one thing I really want to emphasize, and I feel like is kind of missing in the church, is we're really big in services and we're really big in programs, but we're really lacking in community. And at the end of the day, Jesus could have done the whole mission by Himself, right? Like, if there was any one person in the history of the world who could have changed this world by Himself, it was Jesus. And yet He chose to use 12 people. He chose to use 12 men to gather around Him and do that. And I think that really says something. And so that's just what I want to say is that community does change everything, and it's not something that's easily ignored. A lunch that you have with someone at Starbucks is just as effective as a service that was on Monday, right? Because that's where true intentionality is, and that's where true discipleship lays. And so it's not in the service, it's not in the pastor, but it's in those one-on-one key, what we like to call life moments, that really make all the difference.
If you know of a ministry that we need to know about, please give us a call, 888-641-8606, or take a look at our website, revelationstv.org.